Hello everyone, my name is Flavius, and today we have some very interesting news from the Gods Unchained team. I don't know if you recall, back in October 2020, just a couple of months ago, the team made some adjustments to the ward mechanic, and today they are sharing with us potential changes for sleep mechanic, one of the most hated mechanics in the game currently. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then I'm sure you can see in the screen one of the most favorite cards for everyone to hate, especially if you don't have it. The Demogorgon. Everyone that plays against Demogorgon knows how hard and difficult it can be to get to that turn 7 and you get hit by Demogorgon and it completely changes the game against you. End up losing. So let's dive straight into the new upcoming changes. They are not live yet, but you're going to be able to test them on PTR the next 48 hours. Not live yet, but very soon. Anyway, if you play the game long enough, you'll know that sleep is basically a way to use cards like the Demogorgon or Siren of the Grave, especially if you played against Board, Wipe, Death, or Deception, or whatever other cards there to put your board to sleep. So basically what this does, it's similar to just freezes your board. That's what the sleep mechanic currently does. So like the team explains, an opponent can immediately sleep your creatures again. If they play Demogorgon after Demogorgon, for example, basically your board can be locked up unless you have a card to remove sleep. Especially if you accidentally put your board to 6 creatures, then you cannot play a 6th creature, for example, to wake up the creatures, which is usually a tech card that people fit in their deck to counter when sleep has been dominant in a meta. And basically explains that this is to counter gods like Death and Deception. So with the Sleep 2.0, it's still very similar, but there is a big difference now. You are able to wake up your creatures by hitting them with damage. So a creature that takes damage while sleeping will wake up. And this comes with some other changes for cards on core to help. So you've seen Demogorgon, Siren of the Grave. This is the best examples of cards that are continuously used to put your board to sleep, to then wipe the board, especially for Death God. So they're basically changing all of these cards, free to play cards. So instead of dealing 1 damage to enemy creature, 2 damage to enemy creature, 1 damage, 1 damage, this card as well, 1 damage to enemy creatures, and Wildfire, which is very interesting. So basically all the changes here is, instead of you have to target an enemy creature, you just deal 1 damage, which means not only you can deal damage to your opponent's face, but especially your creatures to wake them up if they're put to sleep. So it adds another layer to the game. So all of those cards I just shown, they're all the effect to target enemy creature have been removed, so just deals damage, 1, 2, 1. Now, when it comes to Wildfire, one of the most interesting things in Nature is Nature was quite weak against Board, Wipe, Death. Now with Wildfire, it's another use case for Wildfire, except now it deals 1 damage to your creatures. So when you play against Sleep, when you're playing with Sleep, now you have to bear in mind that you can't just play a Demogorgon or just sleep your opponent's board willy-nilly. You need to take in consideration your opponent's health, so you ideally want to leave them at 1 health. So if your opponent tries to wake them up, they're gonna die, so they're not gonna cause you harm. Or just if you play a Demogorgon, then you want to make sure that those creatures are at 3 health, for example, or 4 health. A lot of people that have played the game long enough knows how to counter Demogorgon by being careful which creatures you play at later stages in the game. So this just adds another complexity. And again, it just addresses one of the biggest issues in a game like Gods Unchained, and many trading card games, which is just putting your opponent to sleep or freeze, which also comes from another game called Hearthstone. It's just really to counter that mechanic where you put your opponent unable to do absolutely anything against you, which just takes the fun out of the game. So yeah, anyway, this is not live yet. It will be on a public test realm, PTR, the next 48 hours, from the 4 p.m. today to 4 p.m. February, for everyone to test. They even share some of the deck codes. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. And if you enjoyed this content, make sure to watch me live on Twitch every Tuesday to Saturday from 9:30 GMT PST. Catch you on the next one. Bye bye.